Okay, peace, grand risings. So I came to do another reading, but this is gonna be with the Oracle and not Tarot. So I started with my Divine Abundance Oracle deck, and I think I might clarify with the Dark Mirror if I have time. Okay, so out of all of the cards that came out, the only one that came out upright was the Right Now card. So this message is focusing on this current moment, this present moment, which is typically what I ask for. But right now it says, stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You'll soon trust that nothing more will come that can be handled at each moment. In reverse, we got true offering, expansiveness, and self-love. Under self-love, we got your path in reverse, which interestingly enough, as long as I have had this deck, I have never seen this card. So let me sit with that card for a second. Yeah, so that card basically just confirmed what I was picking up on as far as this message goes, which is basically, it's giving, this energy is giving like, okay, so I'm seeing like a conversation between you and your higher power where it's just like, okay, I finally got to this point. I've been trying to get to this point for however long. We're not gonna put no time limit on it. And that was a really hard thing to do. I finally did A, B, C, and D. But there's this energy of like, now what? What's next? Like I never thought or seen myself getting to that point. So therefore I clearly never seen beyond that. And because of that, all of this anxiety and fear kicks in because of the lack of understanding, the lack of vision, the lack of foresight, and the lack of self-love with the self-love card in reverse. This is not trusting in self. Not only not trusting in maybe your higher power, but not trusting in yourself and your ability to get to the next part or take on the next task. More than likely because of probably how long it took you to get to this part. So this is being your own worst critic, judging yourself, putting time limits on things. This is you being afraid of stepping outside of your comfort zone. And like I said, mostly because this is somewhere you have not been before. But with this true offering in reverse, this to me speaks of giving to your higher power the things that you cannot control. And that would be like the fear, the anxiety, the unknowing. This right here, this black bird, I feel like it's shadow aspects of ourselves, which is probably why I was called to bring out the Dark Mirror deck. Because we're gonna pull into this energy and see what collective is holding on to that's keeping them in this space of fear and anxiety. But under that, the Your Path card said, it came out, it was in reverse too. But upright, it says, Dear Lord, help me trust that there's a plan far beyond what I can see through my fears and illusions. Literally everything I was already picking up on. But that did come out in reverse. So, the collective is just feeling kind of like lost right now, not knowing what to do next. And that is probably because of a subconscious blockage. So, let's pull and see what that blockage is. Okay, so from the Dark Mirror deck, we got Today for Tomorrow, Anger and Chains, Masquerade, and at the bottom we got I Won't Cry For You in reverse. So I feel like off the bat, some of these subconscious blockages, because right now this is the energy that we focus on. What is collective holding on to that needs to be released, right? So Today for Tomorrow clarified that card in itself. And this to me is speaking of the version of you that is in this present moment and the version of you that we call the higher self. The higher self has a bird's eye view. Your higher self has a bird's eye view, which is a bigger picture view, which means that it can see things that you cannot. So if you have not tapped into the higher version of yourself, that may be something that you may want to look into. But as a blockage, I'm seeing this as like you are trying to think of a plan, trying to plan ahead for the future for a version of yourself that is present now. Does that make sense? It's like, okay, your higher self knows that this version of yourself can get there, but this version of yourself is not aware of your higher self, so it feels like it cannot get there. You see what I'm saying? There's a disconnect there. Okay. With Anger and Chains, I feel like that's kind of speaking about resentment. I'm getting resentment from that. I'm getting, like I said, being self-critical, self-judgmental, like this energy of like, damn, I could have been doing this. I could have been here if I had just did A, B, C, and D. If I had just seen through this, or let this go, or left this place, or left this person, or thought differently about myself. I could have been doing this. That's the energy I'm getting from Anger and Chains, which is probably why it came out at clarifying expansiveness in reverse. Like, damn, I could have been bust my life up. Do people still say that? Oh man. And then you got Masquerade clarifying right now. Masquerade. Let me sit with this. I feel like with this Masquerade and right now, I feel like we as a collective need to let go of the illusion of having it all figured out. I don't know where the fuck I'm going 100%. I don't, because the path changes and turns daily, hourly, with every decision we make. So no, we don't have it all figured out. Not trying to pretend to have it all figured out. Not trying to pretend like you're not feeling the things that you're feeling, because there could be, if you have closed out a cycle, there could be residue. Is what I'm hearing. There could be residue. There could be things that you need to address, which goes back to the anger and chains, and release and let go. If you one of the people that resonate with feeling resentment because I could have been here, even though everything is in divine alignment, then you're going to sit with that and say, okay, why am I feeling? Because I think it boils down to the fact that you realize you've had control this whole time, as far as your decisions and what you could control. You could have been doing that this whole time. You were giving away your power, and I think that realizing that can be hard for some. Can be hard for some to handle or process. And then at the bottom of the deck, I won't cry for you. To be honest, it's giving me the same energy. These were both at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so with this I won't cry for you and self-love, both in reverse. With I won't cry for you, I feel it kind of for me, it's circling back to the energy of how you feeling towards self right now, the all of the residual feelings that may be coming up. I feel like spirit is highlighting not beating yourself up, because I won't cry for you. It's just giving very detached. It's giving very, I don't feel bad for you. But again, circling back to sitting with these feelings, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, and process these things so that you can release them and let them go. But yeah, I guess that's my 10 minutes. So I'm gonna have to leave it at that. Until next time.